I'm Randall Phillips, and this is the Plumber's Philosophy. Let's continue in our discussion. Today, I want to try to get out as much content as I can because life gets in the way. And that's something that I want to share with you too. We really need to hear your story for those of you all who have some skill or some kind of knowledge that you can share with the rest of us. Feel free to do that. Drop me a line at bluesilvercafe.com. I appreciate that so much. So, in continuing our discussion that we had a little bit earlier, I wanted to talk about philosophy because whenever I start, I say, I'm Randall Phillips and this is the Plumber's Philosophy. Well, some people may and some people may not know what philosophy means. And this came up for me recently in a seminar that I did called, what was the name of it? Let's see. Oh, okay, here it is. How to change your life and make incredible connections through your personal Facebook page. Now, I wanted to record that and I'm probably going to go ahead and do it again because I thought I was recording it and I enjoyed it a lot. We had some good people on that seminar sharing some personal stories, but that's probably going to be an ongoing topic that I talk about, how to change your life and make incredible connections through your personal Facebook page. Now, how does that relate to the word philosophy? Well, in that seminar, I talked about the philosophy, well, the word philosophy and the philosophy that we can use with Facebook is as well as just our life. Here's a little something that I talked about. So in step 4 of that seminar, I asked the question, what does the word philosophy mean? And I got a definition that was summarized by Jim Rohn, who's one of the world's most famous business and personal development philosophers, right? So with Jim Rohn, I actually had the opportunity for someone who I was involved in business gave me one of his seminars that was about a 4-hour seminar called The Challenge to Succeed. And I always like to give credit where credit is due and encourage you to learn the stuff that I learned firsthand. You can actually get that seminar at jimrohn.com. That's spelled JIMROHN.com. You owe it to yourself to get it. It is amazing. In fact, in the world of personal development and in my library itself, I've said this many times to people. If I had to take everything in my library away, that one seminar would be all that I need, because in that 4-hour seminar, Jim Rohn talks about so many topics and it's amazing. All right. So when Jim Rohn was alive, he taught that our philosophy is the major determining factor in how our life works. And that's important. So let me say it again. The philosophy of our life is the major determining factor in how our life works. And his description of the concept of philosophy is philosophy, when we're forming it, is the ability to think. We've got to use our mind. We've got to process ideas. We do this whole process over a lifetime, starting way back when we were children, and then we add to our philosophy through trial and error in our life experience. So an example of philosophy was made famous by Zig Ziglar, who's also a philosopher on sales. Here's what Zig Ziglar says. His philosophy is, you can have everything in life you want if you just help enough other people get what they want. So philosophy for me, that's just a little excerpt from what we talked about in the Facebook seminar. But philosophy for me is kind of a sum total of what you represent and how you, for lack of a better word, how you roll. What is it that motivates you to do what you do? Unfortunately, there are some people who, when they go through the life, the series of life and, working, having family, having friends, they either have learned things based upon maybe what their parents did, or they'll mirror off of what their friends do. And a lot of people actually, this is something that I've made an observation of. There's people who are 40, 50, 60, 70 years old still operating from a mindset in their philosophy of when they were in high school. What do I mean? A lot of peer pressure influencing them to do things. They may not really want to do it, but they don't want anybody to talk about them, that kind of stuff. And you'd say to yourself, man, you've been around for a while. You have a house, kids, your car, 2 cars, whatever is, you've made it your success for you. And you're still worrying about what people think. That's kind of like when I was in high school, that bothered me. I would feel the pressure of, I don't want anybody to talk about me. But when I became grown, I'm like, in the grand scheme of things, none of these people who I'm afraid of them influencing me, they're not going to help me with my stuff. So why am I spending that time? So that's just a little bit on philosophy. So when I say this is the plumber's philosophy, what I've learned, and Sheri was the one who actually, way back in between 2009, 2010, she said that I should start talking to people and coaching on the plumber's philosophy, because there's a lot of things that as plumbers, from the time that I started, which was around 1997, till the time that I pseudo retired from that, which was probably 2020, I'd say, I learned a whole lot of things about, first of all, sales, like I mentioned in my previous video. Second thing is how human beings work, because what's interesting is that a lot of people think that they're so special and they're different. Pretty much, if you've seen thousands of people, you can kind of put them in categories and figure out, okay, this person says this. I heard that before. This person said the same thing. It probably means this. It's not really hard, but what I'm trying to do is, for lack of a better word, synthesize all of that information that came from thousands of experiments with human beings and how they behave, how they feel, training myself, training others, getting new information to become better, and also the philosophy that made me say to myself, once I decided to be a plumber, what made me say, I'm gonna stay and do this, because there was an occasion in my life where I was deciding, okay, is this really what I want to do? It was kind of traumatic, but I came through it and I was like, wow, I just had to sit there and reflect on, man, this is really crazy that what just happened to me. But that's the journey that we're going to go on. I'm trying to, get you in the mindset of what this is all about. And I didn't mention this before, but I'm not ashamed to say that with this philosophy, as a business coach, I'm looking for new clients. Go to bluesilvercafe.com if you'd be interested in knowing how business coaching can work for you. And in the meantime, enjoy these free videos. They're for you. They're also helping me. And I appreciate you tuning in. This is Randall Phillips with The Plumber's Philosophy. We got another video coming up soon. Take care.